I wrote this script, I believe, in 2012, and I just visited my parents, and I guess I was feeling slightly homesick and like worried about my parents getting older and like my role or not being there. And then one car ride, I remember my dad said if World War III happened, for some reason he'd want to own a donkey. And it was a very random comment. No one else remembers him saying this, but I thought it was so funny. And then I imagined like what life would be like if he had went ahead and bought a donkey. Just like kind of absurd. And then I wrote the script. I started on the plane ride home, and it was pretty much written in 2 weeks, and I submitted it to a contest because I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I'd never really, I mean, I'd written before, but I had no idea if it was any good or not. And then it won a contest, and I was like, oh, this is so random. And I guess I told you.
Well, so I know this story.
No.
So, so we met in a TV writing class at Hunter College, and I was a film major, but you were just auditing the class.
Right. I was a math major.
Right.
At a different college.
And we became friends, like, right away.
Immediately.
Yeah, in class. I think we just kind of recognized
the potential.
Like, we just found each other funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Really what it came down to, and then we just clicked.
Yeah.
And we stayed friends. So we met in 2011.
11. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or no, wait. 2010. We went into it was that semester, the fall of 2010. Right. We were in this class. We became friends, and then after that, it was like every few months we would get together and have dinner or coffee or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was at one of the earlier ones where you told me about this script.
I think after, because it's funny, we did stay friends, but I wasn't like being creative in my day-to-day. I definitely wasn't writing, and
I know you weren't writing.
Right.
Because I know when you told me that you wrote this feature, I was super surprised by that.
Right, exactly. And I also like didn't tell you like that's something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I won the contest, I was like, oh, this is so interesting that this happened to me. Actually, I remember getting the email, and it said the winners have been announced. Like whatever, thanks for participating. Oh no, the email said you're on the winners list, and I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. And I click on the link, and it says runner-ups, and I was like, great, right? And I scan the list, and I don't see my name, and I'm like, these jerks, they emailed the wrong person. Like, I didn't win, and I thought I did. But then I saw there was a little tab that said winners. And I was like, okay, like, what are the chances? And yeah, that feeling. It was like in the middle of the night. I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't tell anybody, but I was so psyched.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a turning point, I guess. What was interesting is we were in this class together, and the only thing of yours that I had read was our final pilot assignment.
Right.
Lunch Larry.
Oh my god, Lunch Larry. Yes.
Which I thought was like, when I had read it, I thought that it had potential. Like, it showed that you were really good, I think, at creating characters and dialogue, but it wasn't quite.
It wasn't there at all. Yeah, I agree.
And so that was all I had read from you. So when you told me that you wrote this feature, I was kind of like, interesting.
Right.
Like, I didn't really. I wasn't like in a rush to read it, and it was more like we're friends, so I'm gonna read it. But this isn't what she wants to do. She was a math major. Like,
totally.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
And so then I did read it, and I remember just being pleasantly surprised by it. not that I didn't have, but just like that it was really good, and that it was really my cat. That it was really I don't know, it was really. It stays with you, I think, and like I really felt for the characters and wanted more of them, but felt it ended appropriately, and so that was kind of the first reading. But it was really then just cool, like you wrote this script, I liked it, but that's where we are. And then I was just starting pre-production for Summit, my first feature, and you you had helped out on Come Here Often a short that we did,
Right.
but it wasn't like you were part of production
Right,
yet
absolutely,
or anything.
yeah.
And then I think it was around that time that I asked you to be script supervisor for Summit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then it was maybe 6 months later that we had that dinner where you told me the story about Suckface. That became the pilot of Kelsey.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where I was like, okay, I'd read the script, so I knew that you could write really well. And so when you told me that Suckface story, I was like, let's do this thing. You should write it. We're gonna do a web series. And then we shot Summit in January of 2013. Then we shot Kelsey over in the like early summer and throughout the summer, and then we released it in the fall. And then we did a few shorts in 2014. But like here we are now in 2016, and About a Donkey has been there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's always been kind of this theoretical thing, like we're gonna do this one day. It's always been something along the way we decided, oh, we're gonna shoot it, like I'm gonna direct it, and we're gonna produce it together. But it's only now becoming a reality that we've decided to do it.
And like impressively enough, I remember in 2012, it was, I think, like, I don't know, it was a summer production meeting or something, or we were talking about Summit, and you were like outlining the years and what's gonna happen in the years. And I remember you had About a Donkey in 2017, and I was like, what? Like, who plans ahead 3 years? That's insane. Also, like, can we not just shoot it now? Like, and here we are, like, gonna shoot it in 2017.
Yeah.
That's, like, insane to
And
me.
I didn't even really, I planned,
right,
but it was more like, oh, these are the things we want to do before that.
Right.
And this is kind of realistically when we could possibly focus on it.
Right.
But it didn't even really become a definite, like, oh, it's happening in 2017 until just, like, a couple months. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's interesting. But and it's been revised a lot. Like the writing is all you, but we've I've given a lot of notes, and we've gone through revisions and seen how it's working and sounding. And I think we're at a pretty tight spot with it now.